How much money did you make this month?
Last 4 days on one dashboard, we have 26K.
Verified?
And then on another dashboard, we have 51K. So that's about 70K this month.
How old are you?
20.
What's it like?
It's insane. I started working with Drake and P&D's team like 2 weeks ago, and it's like been insane. It's like the coolest client I've ever worked with.
Yeah, and you guys like knocked it out of the park with them.
Yeah, we did 53 million views in a week with about 13K in Clipper spend.
Dude.
His album went #1 in 7 days.
That is crazy though. 53 million views for $13,000. From just like a marketing standpoint, typically like if they were going to run paid ads, it'd be like $10 to get 1,000 views. That would be like literally probably close to $100,000.
Yeah,
Probably.
it's like so much cheaper.
And you got it for like a 25-cent CPM.
Yeah, around there.
And you guys basically created like the Nokia trend.
Yeah, it's cooking right now. I can't escape it.
It's crazy, bro. Okay, so we're on the cusp of something I think is very, very exciting. And so if there's anybody that's a marketer, anyone that's a growth operator, social media marketing agency, you run marketing for a big brand, you run marketing for a creator, whatever it is, if you do marketing of any sort, I really hope you listen to this podcast because we have discovered something that is like going to be the biggest, most affordable, I guess affordable is not that sexy, but it's going to be like the most overpowered marketing system there is right now. And marketing is all about finding a new distribution channel early because there's exponential gains and way cheaper CPMs the earlier you get to it. And Eddie has done this with some of the biggest creators in the world. And so I really hope you listen to this and take it seriously because the value is in the nuances. The value is in the details. So could you just break down what you've been doing with Drake and Party Next Door's team for their album launch?
So it's clipping. It's called content rewards. The way that I look at it is like right now I'm running a Facebook ads agency before Facebook ads existed or like right when Facebook ads launched. And like if you're running ads back then, you had the cheapest cost you could get for advertising, which is what we're doing now. And so they launched their album on the 14th of February. It's like, what, the 26th right now, 25th. And what we did, they gave us a budget to pay out their audience, pay out clippers and UGC creators to just make content like around the album, anything related. So we're paying 70 cents per 1,000 views for UGC creators to make like videos reacting to it, lip syncing, dancing, like trends, memes to the album. And then we're paying clippers 50 cents per 1,000 views just for taking like streamers reacting to clips and just anything related to the album, like clipping.
Okay, so this kind of sounds like influencer marketing, but the nuance here is that it's really automated.
Yeah.
And you're not reaching out to dozens of people telling them to make content. You just created this thing that you called a content reward.
Yeah.
And you pay people 70 cents for every 1,000 views they get. How is that different than just like influencer marketing?
So with influencer marketing, like if they wanted to run a campaign for this album, they would go find influencers. There's actually one that found this campaign and started running it that I think has done some work with them in the past. And typically with influencer marketing, like a creator gets paid up front, like a couple hundred, couple thousand, depending on the size. And there's no really guaranteed results. A lot of these businesses and brands spend money and pay these creators, and there's no way of knowing if they're actually going to get a return on that spend or actually get results. But with this, like a creator, like Drake's team, for example, they're not paying unless the views are already generated. And so they set out this budget and they're like, hey guys, you guys can make content and you guys can get paid for the views you generate. And Drake's team doesn't spend any money unless views are actually generated.
It's very interesting because the old system was like you sign 10 creators, $500 each, and it's kind of like spray and pray. Like 7 of them are going to get like no views or very little views. Like it's an underperforming video, but you're hoping those other 3 get like millions of views. And so you're kind of trying to arbitrage like this $5,000 spend with a few home runs.
Yeah.
Where what you're saying is they only get paid after they create, edit, and post the video and then actually get the views, and then you reward them for that amount of views.
Exactly.
So now my next question is, one, you said you got 53 million views, but it costs only $13,000.
Yeah.
If they're paying 70 cents for every 1,000 views, that's 53 million times whatever. Like that seems like more than $13,000. How did you get 53 million for only 13,000 when you're paying 70 cents?
Yeah, so it's really just about how we structured the actual campaign. So when you set up a campaign, you can create guidelines. So the guidelines for this was like, you must use a sound from the album in the song. It must be 10 seconds minimum. And then we also put a cap on the amount of views we're paying out for, which I forgot what the view count was, but it was $1,000 was the max payout for one clip.
Gotcha. So if someone makes a video, they hit these requirements, and it gets over, let's say, 1.5 million views, you'd pay them up to $1,000, but then any of the views after that, they don't get paid for.
Exactly. And so we've had a few clips go like crazy viral. There's one that has 9 million views. There's a few that have around 4 million. And so those guys earned $1,000 from those clips, and we got an extra 3, 4, even up to I think like 7 million views without having to pay for it.
So this like really balances out like the risk of a marketer, because then at the beginning, you're not overpaying $300 for a video that only gets like 10,000 views. You're only paying for those 10,000 views, but then you still get that upside potential that if something goes crazy viral, you still only paid that max payout of like $1,000, but you actually got $10,000 worth of attention.
Exactly.
Okay, interesting. So now the question is, why would an influencer do this? Like, why would they do it with a max payout of $1,000? Like, why is it better for the influencer to do a content reward system instead of just paying for a flat brand deal?
Well, there's like no risk really. You put up the budget, and if you don't get any views, you're not spending any money. You could just and when the campaign runs out, like the time, you could just take the money back and cancel it. But with influencer marketing, if you spend 10K on influencer marketing and you get no views, you're out 10K and you have no results.
So you mentioned this max payout thing. That's interesting. I see how that's good for the brand, but what about like the influencers or the clippers? Like, why would they do this over just getting paid that flat fee if that's better for them?
Well, for a clipper or creator, when you're doing a brand deal, like you're working with a company to do influencer marketing, you're going to have to deal with contracts and working with their management. It might take some time for the payout. But with this, it's like it exists. There's no contract. You could get started right away, and the payouts are instant as well. And so there's also like dozens of campaigns out there that someone could go get started for right now. I have, I'm working with Drake, Ken Carson, Sketch, and then like 10 other clients that are smaller. They're like mid-tier creators. And so there's like dozens of campaigns that any clipper or creator could go start working for right now. They could get views today, get paid like today as well.
Yeah, it's so interesting. So for this podcast, I have sponsors. Like Shopify is one of my sponsors. Oracle NetSuite is one of my sponsors. And they provide me with like this really like, it's a script that doesn't feel natural to me, but they provide me with the script. I have to sign the contract. There's these deliverables. There's this timeline. It takes 2 months to get paid out because of their like net 60 invoicing or whatever. And so like if something like this existed for one of these big brands for a podcast that paid me like $25 for every 1,000 views I got on YouTube, that would be a way more like easy to work with process than having to go through these deals. I only get a few brand deal requests in my email every month or so. And so it's like, I'm not really in control of it. Where this seems like I can just like go to this page, look at all the offers out there, find one that fits my audience, and then just as long as I meet the requirements and post, I start getting paid every single day.
Exactly. And then I think for the brand, it's even better this way as well, because like when you have full creative freedom, are going to make a way better piece of content for them than where if they give you like a script. It's not natural to how you make content. You're probably going to make a way more viral piece of content if there's not that many restrictions.
That makes so much sense. It's more fitting to my style as well. Yeah. It's more natural. Okay, interesting. So you said you had Sketch as a client as well? What's that like? Because Drake, it makes sense. You're paying these people to make like videos of them dancing to his music. As long as they use his music and they're dancing, they get 70 cents per 1,000 views. So like any female influencer, any person could do that. Or if you said clipping streamers. So for Drake, there's like streamers who are like reacting to his album naturally. And so then you just have these people who just clippers who just know how to edit videos, take those stream reactions and then repost it to get even more views, to amplify that original piece of content. And so the clipper thing, that's what you're doing with Sketch?
Yeah, and there's a lot of streamers out there that are paying clippers. I think I saw a clip of Neon. I think he pays like $250K a month out to clippers. I guess you could say TGR is technically a streamer, and he's actually doing this content reward system on WAP, which is the same platform that I use. And he's paid out his clippers $20K this month. I think for Sketch, we've paid out about $4K and brought in around, I think it's 17 million views so far. It's been a few weeks. Yeah.
17 million views for Sketch.
Yeah.
Oh my God. The thing is like short form agencies have been a thing. Like I think there was last year, even this year, like I probably get like 30 to 40 people messaging me like, I'll do short form for you. I'll do short form for you.
I was one of them like 2 years ago. That was like one of my first businesses was a short form agency.
So that's kind of how you've seen this.
Yeah.
Interesting. So.
But this isn't a short form agency at
Yeah,
all.
that's why
It's like so different.
it's like this weird, it's like this like perfect system that like automates the entire thing. And so it's not like a short form agency, because I usually have to pay them like $2K a month and there's no promised results. I'm just paying them to post content, but usually you have like, you don't know if their clips are going to work. Same thing with like influencers for $500. You don't know if it's going to get views. I could pay a short form agency 2 to 3K a month, no guarantee of views. But this is like, one, I guess you are only pay for the views you get, so there's really no risk.
Yeah.
But now you're leveraging like 20 or 30 people that are doing this for you, and they're all coming up with ideas themselves, and they're incentivized because they only get paid for the views they get. So I'm sure you get like a lot of creativity from the crowd, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was talking about earlier. Is like, if you're running like a brand deal sponsorship, and you set like restrictions, it makes it really hard on the people actually creating the content. But with this, like, if you're running an agency and you have editors under you, one, you have to pay them retainer. You now have higher cost. With this model, there is no retainers that you're paying to clippers at all. And so there's like way more margin, way less risk on your end. And then the actual quality of the content you're producing, there might be some people in there that are producing low quality stuff, but they're just not going to get paid. You're not paying for it, right? The people that are actually making good content are going to get paid, which is pretty sick.
Interesting. So the best clippers get rewarded the most.
Yeah.
It has to be like the best job in the world. You're literally just making money by taking sketches, streams, and then editing them down to 20-second videos, then posting them on social media, and you get paid the same day.
Just gonna watch your favorite streamer. You see something viral happen, download the clip, edit it, post it, boom.
Because you're leveraging their
$200.
virality.
Yeah.
Like their videos all get millions of views. So it's just you taking their videos and posting it. They want you to do that.
Yeah.
Why does Sketch want people to do this for him?
Well, I guess as a streamer or any type of creator, the more attention you have, the more he's trying to funnel people to a stream, right? And so the more people watching his stream, the more people are going to sub. He's going to earn more in AdSense. The more viewers he's getting, he can leverage for brand deals. And so as like a creator, streamer, entertainer in this world, the more like motion, the more awareness you have, the more money you're going to make. And so by paying clippers, ultimately he's going to make more money.
So all the people that you had got 17 million views. If people see those clips on social media and they want to watch more, they'll just go to his stream. Maybe they'll subscribe to him on Twitch. So it's like an engine for his business.
Yeah, one of the requirements was to have his Twitch link in the bio.
Twitch link. So these requirements are like, as long as they hit these requirements, they qualify and they get paid.
Exactly.
But you are being strategic with it to make sure it benefits his business, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have these clippers doing this for Sketch, and does it matter that like let's say he does a stream and there's like one moment that's like really popular, like he's in a 2-hour stream, but there's like one 30-second part that was like really funny. Are these people just like all taking that same part? Are they all taking different parts? And how is that working right now?
Well, they'll take everything, but obviously whatever moment is the most viral, everyone's going to go after because they're going to make more money off of it. But I've noticed that like the first person to clip that moment will probably get the most views, even though it can go viral over and over again. It's with like the TikTok algorithm, the people that are clipping like Kai Cenat and all these streamers, whoever is first to actually post it typically gets the most views. Yeah.
Okay, so first gets the most, but the others still can get a few million views if they.
Yeah, you could like. I mean, have you seen the "Why Are You Gay" clip?
Yeah.
How many times have you seen it?
Probably like 50 times.
Exactly. Yeah. It's been around for years and it still goes viral every single time because the algorithms let you repost the same video.
Gotcha. So that's like just like a super powerful like thing that like if one clipper makes a piece of content that works, you can then share that with the other clippers to then all copy that format or use the same clip, just make it slightly different. And then you just like abuse the algorithm to get all these different views.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? It's like so it's like if I make a viral piece of content and I post it one time, I'm actually leaving like 95% of the views on the table. This is what Luke Belmar did to blow up, by the way. He literally only went on like 5 podcasts and then he just pays clippers this exact same way, paid per view, pay per 1,000 views. And he pays literally people like probably $50,000 to $100,000 a month. And he's getting over 300 million views a month right now. And he hasn't posted any content himself. And he hasn't been on a podcast in like 6 months. But he's still getting 300 million views a month because he has the distribution engine down.
I actually think I saw him post a Twitter story yesterday talking about this. He hasn't posted a YouTube video since 2023.
That's pretty nuts to think about. And so it's like this is like a content distribution system that is like reliable and scalable. And now it's like automated. You don't have to hire employees, manage their accounts, audit their work or anything. It's like only good clippers are going to get paid. If they don't make good content, you can just like deny it pretty much.
Exactly.
If they don't meet the requirements or it's not good, it's not going to get views and you can deny it. So as a brand, you're not really like taking a risk. So it's like you only pay for the views you get. You only pay after they've been edited and posted, and you don't have to do any of that yourself. It seems like a genius strategy, and that's pretty much why we are so bullish on it here at WAP, and hence why you're here. And so I'm curious, like, you were doing growth operating before this. Like, that's kind of what you were known on social media, but then you started doing, like, how did you see this as like,
Yeah. So I guess
the
for
thing to do?
context, if you don't know what growth operating is, it basically is where you'll go work with a creator that has a big audience and that's not selling anything, and you'll help them build a business. The typical business was like a paid community. I started off doing it with Discords, and then used a few other platforms to run communities. I've used WAP as well for these communities. And I made my first couple $100,000 online, just like working with influencers and then working on the back end to build a business and help them monetize. But there was a few problems with that. It's a great model, but it's really fucking hard. Like you have to manage an entire business for these creators. And a lot of times these creators literally are just creators. And so they have a lot of attention, but they're not good at anything else. And so I've been in situations where not only am I running the business for the creator, but they're also getting me to like make their content as well, like script it. So I'm doing the back end for everything. And so it was a lot of work to sometimes make that not that much money. And one of the also biggest problems that I saw that led me discovering this is like with a creator, you'll do a big launch, you'll promote, hey, I just launched this community, join it. Maybe you'll make 50 to 100K. But then after that, the money stops. And so I was working with these creators, like Jason Derulo is one of the ones we worked with. And we're trying to figure out a way to like, how can we continue making money with these guys after we do a big promotion, a big launch? And I was like, oh, why don't we try clipping? Was one of the things. And then I also noticed, this was around March 2024, there was a switch with the algorithm. And me and all of my friends that are creators started noticing like a decrease in views organically. I think I saw a stat somewhere recently that views on Instagram are down about 40% and views on TikTok are down about 50% as well, just like organically. And so the only way to combat that was just like mass content distribution. And so I tried the clipping stuff for myself, and then I realized like, why would I be running someone else's entire business when I could just focus on the marketing, which is the highest leverage part of the business?
Gotcha. So growth operating, you're like literally writing content for them. You're running their community, like actually running the product, managing the community, hiring that staff. But you're also doing their marketing, running their ads, and you're actually doing like the sales management. So you're hiring salespeople and managing that team. So like you are quite literally running the entire business. And I mean, some growth operators probably make like 30, maybe like 30% probably on average of the creator's revenue. But you are literally running the entire business. And it's like, one, you have to be very skilled. Like you have to know how to run ads. You have to know how to set up a sales process. You have to know how to hire salespeople. You have to know how to run a community, hire a community, build a community, copyright, a course, everything. And so it's like a very, very profitable, but also you need to learn a lot of skills. So you basically are saying that this was what you saw working very well when you were growth operating for people. This system was working very, very well and was actually driving the biggest impact. It was probably the most valuable skill set. So you just focus on that one aspect of it for bigger creators.
Yes. Like why? It's funny with the growth operating stuff I was doing, I was making content talking about it. And one angle of mine with the content that worked really well was broke influencer syndrome. I was like, go find a creator that has broke influencer syndrome. They have 1 million followers, but they don't make any money, and go help them make money, and you'll print, which is true. It still works. But, like, there's no money in working with broke people. All the money is with working with the richest people. If you want to, like, get rich, the easiest way is to work with someone that is rich, that's willing to spend money, which is what this is. You go find a business, like, I think right now there's $300 billion per year in advertising spend. This content reward system, this clipping system, will take all of that spend. Like, it's a cheaper way to advertise. So it makes complete sense for a big business like Chipotle to dump millions of dollars per month into a content rewards program to get cheaper advertising and pay their own customers directly.
How would that work? How would Chipotle do it?
I've actually thought about this a lot. It'd be pretty sick. There's a ton of ways you could do it, but if I was to run a content rewards campaign for Chipotle, I would set it up where they're giving away about, let's say, like $100,000 per day in a random Chipotle in the U.S. And they announce that, they let people know, like, hey, we're hiding a QR code in a bathroom in a random Chipotle, And if you find it, it's $100,000 to the first person to find it. And so that's going to get hundreds of thousands of people into Chipotle's every single day trying to find the QR code. And then they're going to announce that they're running a content rewards campaign where you can make content about this challenge and we'll pay you $1 per 1,000 views. So not only are they now getting millions of people into Chipotle, if they're in there, people are going to buy a burrito. So their sales are going to spike, but they're also going to get like a viral trend because people are going to be talking about how they're going in to find this QR code, find this code to win the prize. And so they're just going to get a ton of awareness on social media on top of that.
Interesting. So it's like a really good way to create viral trends, which is kind of what you did with Nokia.
Yeah.
Like music and TikTok, it's all about when a new song comes out, you need to get a lot of people to hear it. And then ideally people start making videos with the song and some sort of like trend or dance move comes out that everyone just starts to do because it's the new trending thing to do. And so that's kind of triggered that for Drake. And you're saying that you can do that same thing for Chipotle.
Yeah. Literally any, you could use this to make a trend for anyone or anything.
That's very interesting. How did you get people, I guess even for Chipotle, like you could literally just pay people 50 cents for 1,000 views if they just are eating a burrito in a video.
Yeah, Chipotle should put it on their receipt, like a QR code. Hey, you could get paid to like join our content rewards program and talk about like just make content about Chipotle.
Yeah, literally eating a burrito or having a bag in an Aiden Ross stream would be like super valuable for them.
Yeah.
And he could make $10,000 just eating on stream, basically.
McDonald's should put it on their receipt QR code. If you have the fries like box in a video,
anybody, any person, not just an influencer.
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
There's already brands doing stuff similar to that. Like, have you seen steak logos around social media?
I cannot not see steak logos. I see them so much. My girlfriend and I watch memes together every night. She thought that steak was a meme company. She's like, steak has the best memes. Like, she literally said that to me. I'm like, are you serious? She thought it was a meme company, not a casino.
That's insane.
It's pretty funny, but it's crazy how they're doing that.
Yeah. So if you don't know, what Steak's doing is they're running a content rewards campaign as well, where I don't know what the rate is. I think it might be $50 per million views, around there, for any piece of content with a Steak logo. It's just like brand awareness, and they're scaling it hard. Like, it's literally impossible to escape. Pretty much any clip I've seen from like streams has a Steak logo.
Yeah.
And it's like really, really successful, and they're definitely printing a ton if they're scaling it this
Do you know how
hard.
much they're paying people?
I think it's $50 per million views. So it's really cheap because you can post anything. Like, I've seen just the most random brain rot with the Steak logo on it.
Yeah.
And it gets like 10 million views.
Yeah, that's just crazy. I even see, like, I saw something happen where it was really viral. The original poster put the Steak logo in it, got paid. And then another account stole that person's piece of content and reposted it with the Steak logo with no intention of getting paid the $50. So the first person did it, but then other people stole that guy's content and then posted it on their second account. And I'm like, holy shit, this is like a multiplier effect. Now, obviously, Steak gets away with it because they're like an offshore casino. And
they get away with it.
They're just an offshore casino. They like do not steal people's content.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like how the social media algorithms work, if you see one viral moment, any meme, a fight video, sports, whatever it is, it's going to go viral again and again.
Yeah.
So you just need to post it a lot. But don't steal content like they do, because they literally do that because they're an offshore casino and they're not going to get hit. But there's legitimate ways to do it. There is something to learn out of that. It's a very interesting marketing strategy, and it's like the most scalable way. It's basically because like social media algorithms are so good at sending niche content to interest groups now. Like back in the day with Facebook ads, you used to have to put in the interest groups. And you're like, I want to send this to people that are in college, this age, and they've looked up soccer recently. And then you'd make an ad for those people. Now, if you just say soccer in a video on a brand new account, Instagram and TikTok know to send it to people who are watching soccer videos because they can just hear it.
Yeah.
They even do facial recognition. I talked about this like last year in my podcast. Like if I post a video on a brand new account, they'll send it to people who have watched my videos before because they recognize my face. Logan Forsythe was telling me this like a year and a half ago. And so followers straight up don't matter. I think that's pretty known now.
Yeah.
Like followers don't matter, and you can just repost content. And so this is like a really great way for people to like make money really quickly. So I'm curious, when you're doing this for Drake or Sketch or whatever, like how are you making money from this?
Yeah, so the typical way that my agency makes money is just by taking a percentage of the Clipper spend or the content reward spend. So it's like running an ads agency. It's literally the same model as like an ads agency where you just take a percentage of spend.
And you just call it a content rewards agency?
Yeah.
Okay, so a content rewards agency, you have Drake. They gave you whatever $13,000, or how much they give you to
They
start?
gave 20, but we're saving some of the budget for some. Maybe by the time this is live, we'll have used the rest of it for what it's intended for.
Gotcha.
But we have a campaign that
So you have another campaign coming with them.
yeah,
Okay, but basically you spent that $13,000. You got 53 million views. You just take a percentage of that $13,000 and then invoice them for that, basically.
yeah,
So let's just I don't know your numbers, but it'd be like you get 10% of. In the advertising world, like most big ad agencies charge 15% of ad spend.
yeah,
So it's kind of like that. Like if a company is running $100,000 in Facebook ads, the agency then charges them 15%, so $15,000.
exactly.
So that's basically what you're doing.
Yeah.
Interesting. And so that's like, and it's really scalable. Okay, so how did you actually get these people, like these clippers, like for Drake or for Sketch? Like, how did you actually get them?
Yeah, so the crazy thing is we never got a promotion from, like, Drake didn't post it, P&D didn't post it. I think Sketch actually posted it inside of his Discord. He has a Discord with like 60,000 people in it, and they posted that this existed. And then for Drake, like, I've been building up my own network of clippers. And so if you're trying to run an agency, that's what you need to do, is you need to just start finding a way to get a ton of clippers. And so I'm doing outreach to theme pages that are clipping pages. I'm posting content, trying to get clippers into my network. And then inside of this like free community that any clipper can join, I post all of the clients that I'm working with. And so when Drake launched, I just posted it, and then I had a couple hundred people join. And then from there, people started talking about it. People started making videos like, oh, Drake and P&D are now paying you to clip up their content and talk about their album. And so it kind of grows from there.
And that kind of word of mouth from there too.
Yeah.
Like if you already listen to Drake, you already make videos with his music in it, you might as well get paid to do it. Like
100%.
it's probably just people. I can't wait for more people to find out about this, because it's going to be such a open market. I really think it like could circumvent all of the ad platforms, or like you used to have to pay Facebook if you want to get 1,000 views. Like that was the only way to get a piece of content seen. Now it's just like the best clippers who know retention editing can just make a video, get 100,000 views, and this is the way to incentivize them, and it's 10 times cheaper.
I mean, it's so much cheaper. That $300 billion in advertiser spend is going to go where the cheapest CPMs are.
Yeah.
Which is, you could set the CPMs here, which is the coolest thing.
I think like 60% of all marketing spend is on brand awareness.
And that's what this is.
Yeah, and that's what this is. So who should be doing this? Because it seems like you kind of have to already have viral content. Like I feel like if I make a video on like how to start a software, it's not going to go very viral, and clippers aren't going to help me. So who is this really for?
So I've tried this with a lot of different clients, and the main types of clients that I've had success with so far are artists and entertainers, because they're just like the most viral. Like streamers have been doing this for a while, and they've had a ton of success. But in reality, pretty much anyone can do it. It might be a bit harder to make it work. But like you said, if you have already viral content and you want to get more viral, you should be doing this.
Gotcha. So it's kind of like I had Jimmy Farley on the podcast, and he's saying that like he pays people $500 a month retainer as long as they post once every day, and then they also get like an affiliate commission.
Yeah.
So if maybe your content doesn't get as many views, it's not as viral, it's not a Drake song, but you could still pay people like $500 for every 1,000 views, or $500 for posting every single day for 30 days after they do that, plus the content reward. That could be like a little better incentive if your content isn't as viral.
I'm doing that with some personal brands that I'm working with. There's a creator named Hustle Phil, who's like, he does affiliate marketing. He's not extremely viral, and so we set up a reward or a bounty where if you post for 30 days straight, you're going to get $250 just for staying consistent. And then we also have a $10,000 budget where we're paying out 50 cents per 1,000 views.
Gotcha. Okay, so how are you actually doing all of this? Because I know we have built you some tools. Like we've worked in tandem because we've seen you doing some of this crazy shit, and we've kind of built some tools for you around what you're doing at WAP. So could you just explain how this is all working for you in detail?
Yeah, so I guess from start to finish, I'll go find a client, close them, tell them how it works, figure out the budget. Typical budget I work with is like around 10K minimum to test for the first month. And then once they give me that budget, I deposit it into a content reward on WAP. I'll build a community on WAP specifically for like clipping or UGC, depending on the campaign. And it's just like the same thing I was doing with growth operating, building communities. I'm now building communities specifically for clipping, except it's free to join, and these clippers are getting paid, which is like so sick. It's like the reverse. And so WAP has a system where you could deposit money. It's kind of like the new Facebook ads dashboard. You could deposit money into it, and then you could set the guidelines, like set up the campaign, let people know these are the rules, this is the type of content you should be posting, set the rate, set how long the campaign's going to last for, and then you start getting clippers in and creators in. And then they can go through, they could see, okay, these are the guidelines. Okay, they go make their post on TikTok, on Instagram, and then they have to link their post onto WAP as soon as they make it. And WAP will automatically start tracking their views through like the content reward system. And on my end, I have like a dashboard in the back end where I could see, okay, this clip has got 10,000 views so far, and their estimated payout is $10. And then I can go click on the video, watch it, make sure it follows all the guidelines, and then there's like an approve or deny button. If I click approve, it pays them out for the views they've already got, and then every single hour it starts paying them out for the views that they accumulate. And so it'll disperse all the funds equally across the clippers that have approved content until the budget's empty.
Interesting. I helped design this for you.
It's a clean ass design, bro. I
I
appreciate
think
it.
it's really cool.
Yeah.
So basically, you're just creating a free WAP, which is just a free community,
Yeah.
where it's just a chat, and then you add this content rewards app
Yep.
to your WAP, and it's also free. And all you have to do is just set how much you're going to pay people and tell them what type of content you want them to make.
And then link assets if there's like a Google Drive, like I'm running
Sketch a
clipping.
stream.
Yeah, exactly. The link to his Twitch, and then they can click on that, go take moments from it, post it, link it, get paid.
And the second they link, they're literally getting paid within the first hour once it's approved.
Yep.
When you think about businesses growing their sales beyond forecasts like Mattel, sure, you think about a product with demand, a focused brand, and influence-driven marketing, but an often overlooked secret is actually the businesses behind the business, making selling and, for shoppers, buying simple. For millions of businesses, that business is Shopify. Nobody does selling better than Shopify. It's home of the #1 checkout on the planet. And the not so secret with Shop Pay that boosts conversions up to 50%, meaning way less carts going abandoned and way more sales going. So if you're into growing your business, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling, on the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout Mattel uses. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/WGMI, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/WGMI to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/WGMI. Thank you for sponsoring today's episode. I think it's the future, dude. Like, that's why I came to WAP. There's something with clipping. I thought it was going to be affiliates at first, and then I saw this like whole view reward thing over the last like 6 months with a lot of other people, including yourself. And I could not be more bullish on this concept of like paying people based off the views they receive. And it's just a cool thing because all these creators have a lot of fans, and you can actually pay your fans who know your content better than anybody to then just repost your content. And there's people making like tens of thousands of dollars a month doing this right now. Like, it's no joke that this is like the scale that we're about to see is very, very crazy.
It literally feels like I'm living through the Social Network movie right now. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
especially here at WAP,
Yeah,
dude, because we're using it too, and it's absolutely cooking for us. It's like I feel like we're on like the cusp of something like huge. It's so exciting, bro. So that's a good explanation of what's going on. What's like the hardest part of this? Because it's not all sunshine and rainbows. Like, obviously, there's got to be some sort of like difficulty or like complexity to what you're doing.
Yeah, right now for me, the hardest part of running a content rewards agency is just getting clippers. But it's really easy. Like Drake, I had like a joke. It was like the bubonic plague. I was sick the week that he dropped the album. I was like out. I even had to go to the hospital because I like lost the hearing in my left ear from an ear infection. But I still got 53 million views for him while I was in bed, and I was just able to manage the campaign from bed. Literally fever every day, dying. But there's other clients that is like pushing a rock up a hill, and it's just because getting clippers for them is a lot harder.
Who?
Just like personal brands, like
people,
there's
like educational content.
Yeah, like you could say like make money online course creators, because they don't have an audience filled with a ton of clippers, and so the only way to make it successful is to have your own network. And so I've been building my own network of
How
clippers.
many clippers would you realistically need if you're trying to get like 5 million views a month?
One. One cracked guy.
I feel like you just need like 5 or 10 really good people,
Yeah.
and this will cook for them.
And as long as the content that they have to work with is really good.
So if it's like an educational person, you probably need to like sit down and record either podcasts,
Yeah,
or like raw vlogs.
You're able to outsource like testing, like ad creatives or content styles. For example, like I'm running clipping for my own personal brand, and I got like 50 clippers in. They all started posting in different styles. I was letting them have full freedom to test how they wanted. And then a new style came that I saw that was like, no one else is running this, and it was getting really good views. And so I was like, okay, all of you guys run this style now. And so I basically outsourced and was able to get free content market fit. I was able to just like test a ton of creatives and find what sticks. And now I'm telling them, okay, now hammer this. And so for anyone that is running ads and they want to test like finding a winning creative, it's a perfect way to do that.
Yeah, that's huge for like software companies and e-com brands, because it's like you have to figure out like a winning format on social media, and it's not obvious. Like if you're trying to market a software company, like it's pretty difficult to like make an educational video that gets millions of views.
Yeah.
But if you get like really creative with like, oh, you make like a story where the guy like wakes up out of his bed, checks his phone, uses the app to solve this problem. You find this like format of like the way to record it, the way to tell the story, and the way to blend in the app, and that can get 1 million views. But you would have never thought about that yourself.
Yeah.
But you're able to outsource it to these clippers or to these UGC creators. That's so
testing
smart.
100 different angles per day for free, basically,
and
until
then,
something hits.
Yeah, and then like we were saying, if one hits, then you just share that winning format with everybody else. Then everybody starts eating.
Yeah.
And it just should be extremely profitable. Interesting. So this would work for like UGC creators for software and for e-com brands in theory, like
100%.
people selling products. TikTok Shop might be better for e-com brands, but pretty much software, any digital brand, anything like that, any physical brand like that just needs brand awareness. It should cook for. So it kind of seems like the spectrum of like, okay, the bigger and the more viral they are, it's like really easy. You just need a clipper, someone to take the content and cut it and post.
Yeah.
And they get paid like 30 cents for every 1,000 views or $300 for every 1,000,000 views. Then the other side is like, okay, it's a little more work. It's not as obvious how it will work. So maybe you pay $3 for 1,000 views plus a $500 retainer. And so it's like, this will work for anybody, the system, but you should kind of have to be self-aware of like how viral is your content or how easy is it for it to get views and pay match the incentive correctly. Because I feel like clippers are going to be the ones that are going to have a lot of the leverage, because they're like, why would I clip for a software company when I could just go make sketch clips or use Drake's music? So I think that's interesting how like the brands will start bidding to each other on it. But then also another thing is like, once this becomes so popular, I could see a world where like literally every brand in the world is doing this. And this is just how all influencer marketing is done. Because you as a creator just find a brand or whatever that matches your niche content. Like instead of Shopify sponsoring this podcast, I could just see Shopify's view reward program or NetSuite's view reward program because they're in line with my audience base, and just know to use them as the view reward I'm going after. But that might be a few years from now.
Honestly, any business that needs marketing and advertising in any form should be doing content rewards. There's no reason that they're not.
You got a 25-cent CPM. Costs $0.25 for 1,000 people to hear Drake's song. And it literally triggered the Nokia dance trend.
I'm not gonna claim that his album went number 1 because of me, but it did go number 1 in a week. It did go number 1 in a week.
So pretty good data to back up there.
Yeah, it definitely would have gone number 1 regardless.
For sure. Hey, an extra 100,000 people hearing the song, like, or 100,000 people like, streaming the song could go a long way for a lot of artists, And I think that's something that's very, very interesting. It's just because people are already using the music. Now it's just incentivize it from the start, fund it $10,000 from a record label, just to like jumpstart all the people using it.
Yeah, and then once a trend's going, it's like you probably don't even have to keep paying.
Right.
It's just going to run.
Because exactly. You got 53 million views, but really only paid for, maybe 13 million?
Yeah.
At most. So it's really smart, dude. It's also like in the future, if this becomes a thing, it's like, okay, these creators are using music anyways. They're probably going to start looking, they're probably going to go look at WAP and be like, well, this person will pay me to use their music. And it makes sense. So I might as well just throw that on there and link it back.
There's already a creator, one of the guys that made a lot of money from the Drake campaign, he already does sound promo. And I don't know where he's finding the places to promo. I think people go to him directly. But he just found this Drake offer organically, and now he started using the songs from Drake. And then I also saw him using Ken Carson music because that's one of the campaigns I'm running.
So now he's cooking.
Yeah.
He's found the method.
Yeah, he's printing.
And he's found it early. We saw there was that one guy that made a video that we didn't you posted the Drake content reward on the WAP marketplace, so like anyone could see it. And literally the first day, some random dude made a video talking about how Drake's paying his fans, and it got like 80,000 views. And then like 1,600 people joined the Drake WAP, pretty much all organically. I don't know how many people you put in yourself, but like
only a couple hundred.
Yeah, I'm assuming at least like 1,000 of those people came just like from word of mouth already. So it like hit the market very fast. It's very fascinating. I do think that artists paying their fans, like that's a really cool concept as well, because they're already going to use their music now. Like you're rewarding them just to do it.
There was a clip of when we launched Ken Carson someone that does news for all artists found it and made a video about it organically without us paying him. And
Oh, it was Ken Carson, not
yeah,
Drake,
yeah, yeah.
not Drake, not
And
Drake.
he
My
was
bad.
like, "Yo, this is sick. Ken Carson's paying his fans. Like, this is a W. Why isn't Playboy Cardi doing this? Like, everyone should be doing this, and it's gonna be really cool to see how, like, all of these different like content reward offers pop up, and like how creative people get, because you could do really cool shit with this.
Yeah, the range that we saw in content submissions that you were showing me of all the people who did Drake's content rewards, like you have like a 25-year-old blonde fitness creator, this woman just making her videos of her dancing with headphones on in the gym.
I think that was AI.
Really?
Yeah,
You-
there was like AI like character that was submitting a lot of Drake
Oh,
content.
interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so that AI,
Yeah.
there was a real person. I did see
Yeah.
a real girl because she has like a pretty normal Instagram. Then I saw people like in their car, I guess they're driving to work, just like singing along. Then I saw people like multiple people doing like reviews of the album.
Yeah.
Some new, some actually just clipping other people's reviews. Like Kai Cenat listened. That was probably the easiest hack for people. Kai Cenat listened to Drake's album live, completely unrelated to us. But that qualified because then you can just take Kai Cenat's stream of him listening to the album, and then the clippers can clip that, and that qualified for what you're doing, which probably resulted in a few million views just from that.
It's like compounding like crazy. Have you seen what Blackboy Max is doing with the streams?
No.
He'll have an artist on, and they'll make a song live on stream. He did that with DDG, and the song went #1. I think maybe they had to take it down because of the.
He did one with Wiz Khalifa too.
Yeah.
I saw that one.
And these actually, I think they're catching on because
Yeah.
I'm running a campaign for. I partnered with an agency to run this one, but I think DaBaby, Hot Boy, and 42 Doug went on Blackboy Max's stream, and the label hit me up and was like, "Yo, we have 3 artists on right now. Can we launch clipping for them tonight?" Because they were trying to see if they can make a hit and like get it released and have it go viral.
Yeah.
And so there's like so many ways this is gonna work where artists are collabing with streamers, or like, let's say an artist collabs with like the WWE or like an NBA team, because like so many, like right now on TikTok there's already so many like music and like NBA edits. Like NBA edits will have a specific like sound that goes viral, and so these companies, these artists, these creators could do collabs where the NBA already has a lot of motion, this artist already has a lot of motion. They come together, do a campaign, and it's extremely successful. Clippers are printing a ton of money. There's like so much possibility. I can't sleep at night.
Yeah, it's gonna snowball, bro. Like even the creator could partner with Chipotle.
Yeah.
And they can do some cool content reward style stuff like that.
Keith Lee should be doing Chipotle reviews, and then Chipotle should have a concert reward where people are clipping his review.
And they can do a content reward. Whoever gets the most views clipping that wins $2,000 here for first place, an extra $1,500 for second place, $1,000 for third place. So then it's like a competition. Whoever gets the
Yeah.
most views, but they all get paid for the amount of views they get. But there's even more of an incentive. It's a really exciting world, dude. I back to the music thing. Last note, I guess we'll say before we end it. I saw Tyga and Ty Dolla $ign literally streaming, making the song last week, and the song was a banger. Like they're for sure gonna release it, and they did it on stream. So you could clip them making it on stream and also make videos with the song as a dancing or something, whatever it is. But they should just be doing all of that in WAP, because you could chat with your people in WAP. You can live stream in WAP. You can set your content rewards, so now you're paying your fans in WAP. You can sell tickets. You can do everything like a traditional fan club. Anybody that has like a free Discord that's kind of treating it like a business should do it on WAP, because WAP is made for communities that are business based. So I think it's a very exciting time. I feel like we're living in the social network as well.
We were running a community for Jason Derulo last year, and I thought it was best to launch like him teaching something like a typical info course, but I think that there was a lot of pushback just because it's like he's a big brand.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like skepticism with the whole info world, and so the route they went was the like fan club route, which flopped because personally, why would I pay to be a fan of someone?
Yeah, you won't pay.
Yeah. But this didn't exist back then. Content wars didn't exist back then. And I know that if like Jason were to launch something like this, it would absolutely crush. There's so many ways he could use it. Like he already does this thing called Jason TV. He is I think he has the most viewed like YouTube channels there is. And the way he did that is he runs shorts where he takes like 16 of the most viral clips he could find across the internet per day and post them on his shorts page.
And
so-
reposts.
Yeah, using his sound. He's already doing
So
this
he's doing it for himself.
but he should outsource it and scale it like to the moon with
Wow.
content rewards.
That is so smart. So he was just finding viral moment, putting his music on it, and then posting it himself.
The most random videos from the internet, like fails, like
Oh my God.
funny moments, like just random ass shit, brain rot.
Yeah, because that's crazy. Because but you do want a fan club. Now you're incentivizing the fans to be in there because you will pay them to be in there
Yeah.
but it's like a mutually beneficial thing. You get me views, I give you money, and then that gets me more fans, and then we all go to concerts together. I make money from my concerts. You love my music. You happily buy a ticket, and so it just grows the business, and you're investing in your fan base. It's like it just makes so much sense.
Jason texts me back. Let me cook for you. Let me cook for you. I tried pitching him on this already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Was he not open to it, or did he?
He just never responded.
I will say one really genius thing about what you're doing, which is kind of like Jimmy Farley, which I think is probably the smartest thing anyone can do, is to scale up your business. You need more clip curators, is what you call yourself, right? Like
Yeah.
you're a clip curator. If you're the one actually managing, like you're Drake's clip curator or your
Exactly.
Sketch's clip curator. The business model is a content rewards agency.
Yeah, and the
But
person who runs it is
the
a
person's
clip
running it is a clip curator. And so for you to scale up, because you already have some of the biggest brands, first off, I'm sure are like a lot of people hitting you up to do this, or is it like hard to get clients? Or
It's insane how many DMs I have. I think the first month I made a single piece of content talking about this, I got like 300 DMs from like some of the biggest creators out there.
Yeah.
Like everyone wants clipping.
I think it's like become such a known thing. Like Andrew Tate like really made it famous.
Yeah.
And like everyone's been trying to do it, but it's so hard to manage 30 employees. It's like it's $30,000 a month to manage 30 clippers at $1,000 a month. Like it's expensive. You have to manage it. But this like completely like systemizes it and makes it automatic. And it's like the perfect flow. And so it's like something that all creators wanted. They just haven't been able to crack it. And it seems like this system is like what's finally working for everybody. So they all want it. And now you found the perfect system to do it, but you just can't keep up with the demand, which is probably a lot different than growth operating. You have to ask, you have to reach out to a creator. You have no proven track record. You have to ask for 30% of their business. Where now the pitch is, hey, do you want to get 20 million views this month? And by the way, you only pay me after I get the views. And you're going to get 20 different people creating all different types of content. So you'll even get wider varieties of content to see what works automatically. It's like a no-brainer pitch. And so I can imagine that the demand is like insane for creators and brands wanting to do this with you. But you already have Drake, Sketch, Ken Carson, a few other people. So I think what I'm getting at here is the genius part of what you're doing is you have this content rewards program that you're basically training people. So they join your program, pay $3,000. How much is it?
5K.
So they pay $5K. You teach them how to do all this. You teach them the systems, full course coaching, everything. And then once they go through that, what happens? Because I think it's really smart what you're doing.
So there's actually so much demand that I have coming inbound and WAP's getting now, since this is now like people are catching like wind that this exists, that there's not enough people to actually manage these campaigns. And so I'm partnered with WAP. I haven't really talked about that up until now.
Happy to have you, bro.
Yeah, it's pretty sick. That's why it feels like the social network. But where I am running like a community where I train people how to run these agencies. I work with them. I oversee what they're doing, give them support where they need it, help them get clippers. And we're giving people clients. Because like I'm running, like I could scale this really, really high, which I'm going to, but I'm only going to do it with like a handful of like top clients, like Drake, the Ken Carsons, the Sketches of the world.
Yeah, like the premium service.
Yeah. And then there's a bunch of other people, like everyone wants this. Everyone could be doing this. And so it's like we're in a situation right now where like Facebook ads is blowing up, but there's not enough Facebook ad agencies out there because most of the spend that's going through Facebook is ran by agencies. And
100%.
so I'm running a community where I'm training people on how to actually run this model and then also giving them clients because there's a lot of clients that come my way that like aren't the Drakes and P&Ds that's like my ICP. That's what I'm trying to work with. And so, yeah, that's what we're doing. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and it'll work for them. They just need someone to do it and set it up. And
Yeah.
I think a lot of these creators don't want to even think about it. They'd rather have an agency just like manage it, hit approve for all the pieces of content that are coming in because there is like hundreds of pieces of content in a day if it's funded fully. And so I just think it makes so much sense because now you're scaling out at the maximum speed of how many people can start doing this and they're paying you to train them, but then you're kind of pairing them. So it's like your agency is getting all of these brands coming to you through your, how many followers do you have on Instagram?
Like 165.
Yeah, so you have a pretty decent personal brand, and you're like known for this now. You're like the first person to actually like do this publicly, which is sick. But you're getting like literally hundreds of people. You've never experienced this much demand, and so now you're your agency is now basically just a pairing agency where you have to train up these people like a college. Once they graduate the college, you just hand them a client, and then now you're actually able to scale your agency 10 times faster than if it were to actually just be like an internal training program. I think it's like the most high leverage way to grow something right now. It's so smart, bro. And you're only 20, dude.
It's like it's like you said, like I'm training a lot of people, and then some of the people that I'm pairing up with these agencies, I'm taking a percentage of. And so it's like I'm able to scale my agency really, really fast and hard because I'm basically training more me's to run this and then partnering with them.
Yeah. Wow. It's so cool, bro. Just so everyone has full context and they know what's going on. So I lead marketing at WAP. Eddie was doing this, and we identified that. He's a big creator on social media. I've had a relationship with him in the past. We saw what he was doing with growth operating, and this became something that we all started to kind of see in the market. And so we started working with him to build this tool to facilitate what he's doing. And now we saw so many synergies, we decided to bring him on and join us at WAP. So now he's like a part of WAP and running this internally. And so he's like a content creator. Me too. It's so fun. It's my first job ever.
I have a W-2.
Yeah, it's wild. But we still want you to run your creator business fully. But there's so much synergy that just makes sense. And so like we've hired, like we're both creators, but we both work here internally now. And so I think it's that in and of itself is a separate conversation. But just so everyone has clarity on what this is all about, like we have built the perfect tool called Content Rewards on WAP based off of what we've been doing with you for the last 6 months. And I think it's like, I've been really excited to record this because you're pulling the craziest clients out of nowhere too. And there's so much demand. So like, we're just really excited. And hopefully you guys see this and understand like how special this opportunity is, because it's quite literally like being one of the first people to run Facebook ads. Like Facebook ads came out in 2014. I remember like 2017, 2018, Gary Vee was just now going on social media, telling everybody to run Facebook ads, and no one was doing it. And so like being this early to this system seems like a freaking, I sound so funny, but seems like, seems like an insane opportunity. It's cooking for us internally. There's so many different ways that movie studios could be doing this. Anybody that just wants to get their logo on any piece of short form content. It seems like it like is mass market brand awareness across all of these organic algorithms directly from brands and creators. And it's just completely automated. Brands just post $50,000 budget. We'll pay you $1 for every 1,000 views if you just use our logo in one of your videos. We'll pay you 20 cents for every 1,000 views if you just, recycle one of our pieces of content that's already gone viral before. All these different ways. So I think it's musicians, because music marketing has been extremely hard. And like, how do you get people to hear your music? Paid ads don't really work. They're really expensive. Then you have to do influencer marketing. But like we said, it's like a lot of shot in the dark. It's a lot of random payment without guarantee of views. It's also clunky. It's really annoying to have to negotiate contracts and send all the money, where this completely automates it. But then WAP also has all the features for you to actually run like a fan club. You can run a community. You can have a chat. You can have a live stream if you want to make music with your fans. Then they can clip the live stream within your WAP and post that on social media, get paid to watch their favorite person's content, and you can even host events and sell tickets to your concerts inside your WAP.
And you get their data.
And you get
their email, contact info,
and you get
all the
their
people.
Email and contact info.
If you're the one that runs the community, you get all the info of everyone
so
that's
from
in
a business perspective, it's like cracked, and it's all free.
With this Content Rewards agency, I've realized the best clients to go after are the people that have a fuck ton of money. Who has the most money? People that have oil in their country, like countries, governments, right? And so, for context, Dubai used to make all of their money from oil. Now they don't. I don't know if it's because it dried up or if they mitigated the risk.
Still make money from oil.
Yeah, but it's their main source of income now is tourism.
Yeah.
And they run campaigns. Like right now, I think Dubai is giving away 10,000 golden visas to influencers. So they're running some type of influencer campaign to get people to talk about Dubai and make content. But a better way of doing that would be through a content rewards program where they pay people for making content like per 1,000 views about Dubai.
Like travel influencers.
Exactly. Or like me, like I went to Dubai in December and I'm posting a vlog on YouTube about that soon. And they could pay me like $1 per 1,000 views on that vlog. But what I've realized is like there's other countries like Dubai out there. Like Qatar is one of them. I got in contact with some agency that's doing marketing for them. And they're like, yeah, Qatar right now, all of their money is in oil. And they're trying to mitigate risk so that, let's say a new form of energy comes out, they're not cooked, right? Or worst case scenario, the oil dries up, they're not cooked. And so they're trying to find a way to make their main source of income for their country like tourism.
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to get in contact with them right now. I think I got put in a group chat with one of the nephews of the Qatar government, and I'm trying to pitch them on like, yo, you guys should put a massive budget towards paying creators and influencers to talk about Qatar. Travel influencers, people that actually go there to talk about why Qatar is such a sick country, because it really is, and just people don't really know about it. It's slept on. And the agency that's running that is going to be managing tens of millions of dollars in like clipping spend per month. A percentage of that is a fuck ton of money.
The budgets that we're talking here are like disgusting. Like, if you think about a movie like Barbie, like they spent well over $200 million just marketing the movie. And think about how much clippable content that is. Anytime a movie goes out like that, you have like Margot Robbie and like S tier artists that have to go on like a press run. And so they do like 40 interviews. So that's just 40 pieces of long form content.
It's clippable.
It's clippable. And then clippers get paid 30 cents, 50 cents for every 1,000 views, or $500 for a million views. Just taking those and just posting them. And they will get millions of views. And so like that's like the most powerful distribution engine for the movies. And it's 10 times cheaper than any other platform out there. And it's automated and decentralized. So like they'll have thousands of people doing it, all coming up with new creative ways. Trends will get sparked out of this so efficiently. That's $200 million. If they only put $2 million into that, if they put 1% of their marketing budget into that, and you're the content rewards agency doing that, you make 200 grand. And you should be able to do that automatically in like 2 weeks. Like it's just like, it just makes my like stomach like, I feel like I'm going to throw up with how much opportunity there is right now.
The craziest thing is like movies are like the way they market is so outdated, but they should just be looking at what the new age is doing. Mr. Beast is the perfect example. He launched Beast Games, and it's one of the most successful TV shows in history. And the way he did that is through clipping. He's a content rewards program where he's paying people to clip from Beast Games. And I was talking to someone who knows the guy that's running it, and they've generated 800 million views through clipping.
It's on autopilot.
Yeah.
You don't have to create, edit, or post any content yourself, bro. It's absurd. And like this is for music, the best way to market music. Like it's very difficult to market music. This is the hands down best way because you just get everyone using your music and social media like they already do. And it's perfect for album launches. It's perfect for anybody running a movie studio. It's perfect for anybody streaming or any type of entertainment content. And all of them have really struggled with monetizing their brands. They can't sell courses like the info people. They just have to get brand deals. And now this really, really just automates everything for them. Because even we're talking about like big influencers paying clippers, but even big influencers can be the clippers.
Yeah.
Like we have huge accounts that go through the content rewards programs on WAP already. I can just imagine this being like a huge form of the future. I can just imagine this being like the future of influencer marketing at scale too. So
someone's going to use this to industry plant soon.
Yeah, for sure.
Someone's going to come out of nowhere, industry plant through content
We're talking
rewards.
NBA teams. Like NBA teams should be doing this. Every big record label should be doing this. Every big entertainment company should be doing this.
Colleges.
I mean, the casinos are already doing it. We don't recommend the casinos, but they are doing it and it's working. But don't steal content. So I'm pretty excited about it, dude.
I'm buzzing. Like it's so insane. I feel like I'm on like 5 shots of espresso every day, just waking up and knowing how much fucking money is out there for me to go get.
Okay, cool. I don't want to keep this podcast lingering. I think we've hammered in the point. I think we've shared our excitement. So now it's up to you to take action. But Eddie, where can they find you? And if they want to join your program, where do they go?
At Eddie Cumberbatch on all socials, and then we'll just throw the link in the description.
Okay, cool. So if you're interested in starting the agency like him, I'll put the first link in the description. Basically, just he'll teach you everything that you want to do, and he'll pair you with clients. So pretty cool hack. Other than that, this is all done on WAP. Check it out if you want to support me. Other than that, Eddie, you're the man. It's been so fun working with you for the last few months. Everybody else, you have a wonderful day. We'll see you in the next one.